Myself Dr. Deepak Avle, and today I am going to discuss with you the topic soaps and detergents. This topic belongs to paper number 6 of semester 3. Now, the basic questions that may be raised in your minds: why should I study this topic, soaps and detergents? What is the scope of this topic, soaps and detergents, as far as my career is considered? So let's discuss the scope of this topic, soaps and detergents. So students, as this topic is included in your curriculum, you have to learn this topic so as to get good marks. So that is the first scope of this topic. Secondly, you can start self-employment, you can start a small scale soap industry or detergent industry, and you can start earning money. So self-employment, the another scope of this topic, soaps and detergents. The third, if I don't want to do industry, then I can go for job. So what are the job opportunities in this soaps and detergent industry? So for this, let's have a look at the national scenario of soaps and detergents industries. So in India, 700 plus companies of soaps and detergents are there, and the combined annual revenue of these industries is found to be $17 billion. If you take a look at the per capita consumption, then it is found to be 460 gram, and almost 50% soaps are sold in rural markets. So don't hesitate. How can I start the new soap industry, small scale industry, and where should I sell these soaps? Because this data, 50% soaps are sold in rural markets, and you do have the chance or the scope to sell your soaps at local markets. So if taking this national scenario of soaps and detergents into account, let's have a look at the career after graduation and post graduation in the soaps and detergents industry. So one can join in a research and development unit of these industries. Second, opportunity is in marketing as a salesman, as a sales manager, etc. Third, there is an opportunity in finance, in administration, in advertising, etc. So after studying this topic, soaps and detergents, we have these job opportunities, as well as we can start the small scale soap industry or detergent industry. Now, what is the content of this topic that we are going to study? So this topic is divided into two parts: soaps, part A soaps, and part B detergents. So under the part A soaps, we are going to discuss these soaps with respect to introduction, raw materials, types of soaps, manufacture of soaps by hot process, and finally cleansing action of the soaps. With respect to detergents, we are going to discuss introduction, raw materials, types of detergents, which are of three types, then preparation of TPOL, preparation of dairy fat, and finally the comparison of soaps with detergents. So this is the curriculum that we are going to discuss as far as this topic is considered. Now let's start with part A, soaps. Now what are soaps? How will you define soaps? Sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid is called as soap. Let me zoom this slide. Sodium or potassium salt of higher fatty acid are called as soaps. So why fatty acids are called as higher fatty acids? Because they contain higher number of carbon atoms, and hence they are called as higher fatty acids. So what is the general formula of these soaps? Soaps have general formula RCOONA or RCOOK, potassium salt of higher fatty acid or sodium salt of higher fatty acid, and that is nothing but the soap. So soaps are obtained by alkaline hydrolysis of oils, fats or higher fatty acids. So this is the common procedure to obtain soap. Fats, oils or higher fatty acids are the main sources to obtain soaps, and we can hydrolyze by using alkali so as to get the soap. Fats and oils are nothing but the mixture of esters called as glycerides. If you look at the composition of fats and oils, it consists of different esters, and these esters are specifically called as glycerides. So why they are called as glycerides? So we know the general formula for ester RCOOR dash, and the general method for the formation of ester is by the reaction between carboxylic acid and alcohol. So alcohol used in the synthesis of ester is, if it is glycerol, then the ester obtained is called as glyceride. So fats and oils which consist of esters, they on alkaline hydrolysis gives alcohol which is called as glycerol, and hence these esters are called as glycerides. Higher fatty acids may be of two types. The first one is saturated higher fatty acids, second one is the unsaturated higher fatty acids. Now if we see the examples of saturated higher fatty acid, the first one is lauric acid having molecular formula C11H23COOH, myristic acid having formula C13H27COOH, palmitic acid C15H31COOH, stearic acid having formula C17H35COOH. Unsaturated higher fatty acids are oleic acid C17H33COH, linoleic acid C17H31COH, and linolenic acid having formula C17H29COOH. Now this we have already seen. Since glycerol reacts with higher fatty acid, the esters obtained are called as glycerides. Now let's see the representative example. So this is the structure of glycerol. This one is palmitic acid, and the reaction between alcohol and higher fatty acid gives an ester which is called as palmitic ester, and commonly it is called as glyceride. So higher fatty acids reacts with glycerol may be of similar or different types. So in this example, in this reaction, only one type of palmitic acid, 3 molecules of same acid, that is palmitic acid, are reacting with this glycerol, and there is formation of this palmitic ester. So if we look at the carbon hydrocarbon end, so C15H31 here C15H31 is there. So same higher fatty acid reacts with this glycerol, and hence such ester or glyceride is called as simple glyceride. If glycerol reacts with more than one type of fatty acid, then the ester obtained will be called as mixed ester, or it is also called as mixed glyceride. So here it is mentioned that in simple glycerides only one type of higher fatty acid reacts with the glycerol, while in mixed glyceride 2 or more acids reacts with glycerol so as to get the mixed glyceride. Now what are the raw materials required for the preparation of soap? So manufacture of soap requires 4 important raw materials. The first one is fat, oil or fatty acid. The second one is alkaline material. Third one is common salt, which is having formula NaCl, and the fourth component is additives. Now the type and the quality of soap depends on the raw materials that are used in its preparation. So what is the quality of soap, for what purpose that soap is to be used, that decides what should be the raw materials used for the preparation of soap. Now let's consider the first component, fats, oils or fatty acids. Now the first and important source of fat is tallow. So principal fatty material used for soap making, and it is obtained from fat of sheep, goat, cow or oven. So this is tallow is the important fatty material which is obtained from these sources. It consists of 40% olein and 60% stearin, and it is usually mixed with coconut oil to reduce the hardness of soap and increases the solubility of soap. So this is the first fatty material, that is tallow. The second, grease or lard. It is the second important source of fat which is obtained from pigs. So mainly it consists of 60% olein and 40% stearin, and it is used to prepare best grade soaps. Now the oil that is used for making soap is coconut oil. So main fatty acid that is present in this coconut oil is lauric acid, which undergo alkaline hydrolysis, which is called as saponification, and hence it is used in the preparation of old process. It forms a hard white soap having good lathering properties. Now remember, this term is important, saponification. Alkaline hydrolysis of fat or oil is called as saponification. Now the second oil that is used in the manufacturing of soap is palm oil. It is widely used and mainly consists of palmitin and olein glycerides. Soap prepared by this oil shows very good cleansing action. The other oils are also used for making soap, which includes linseed oil for soft soap preparation, castor oil for transparent soap preparation, cottonseed oil, groundnut oil, maize oil, etc. can also be used in manufacturing the soap. The fatty acids are also used for manufacturing the soap. So here the fatty acids are directly neutralized by using proper alkali, and we can obtain soap. So fatty acids like stearic acid, palmitic acid, lauric acid, caproic acid, caprylic acid, etc. can be used in the manufacture of soap. Now the second important component in soap making is alkaline material. So use of alkali depends upon the type of soap required. So if we want to prepare hard soap, then we can use caustic soda, that is sodium hydroxide. If you want to prepare soft soap, we can use potassium hydroxide. So caustic soda is the alkali used for the preparation of hard soaps, remember, and this sodium hydroxide saponifies fats as well as oils, and at the same time if fatty acid is there as a starting source, then it neutralizes this fatty acid to obtain soap. The second alkaline material, that is caustic potash, KOH, it is used for making soaps from fats, and these soaps will be soft soaps. Potassium hydroxide also saponifies oils, and it also neutralizes fatty acids. So this is potassium hydroxide, the second alkaline material used for saponification of fat and oil as well as for the neutralization of higher fatty acid to obtain soft soap. The another alkaline material that is used is sodium carbonate and also ammonium hydroxide. So these are the non-saponifying alkalis, sodium carbonate and ammonium hydroxide. These are the weak alkalis, and hence they are not used to saponify fat or oil, but they are directly used to neutralize the fatty acids only, and we can obtain the soap. The another alkaline material, that is ethanol amine. Mono, di or triethanol amines are used in soap making. So that is about the second raw material, alkaline materials. The third important component that is required in soap making is common salt. Commonly it is also called as brine solution, and its formula is NaCl. It is required for salting out process during soap making. Now in the due course we are going to discuss the hot process for the manufacture of soap, and it involves 3 steps. So the second step is nothing but the salting out process or step, or it is also called as graining step. So in that step, this common salt or brine solution is used to get the soap in solid form. However, this sodium chloride should be free from iron, copper as well as from magnesium. Otherwise, we observe rancidity in soap making. So other additives which are required in soap making are of different types, and the addition of these additives depends upon the quality of soap that is to be prepared. Now first one is called as rosins. So what are rosins? It is the mixture of organic compounds obtained from pine trees, and it is initially hydrogenated or polymerized, and this modified rosin is used in soap making. So what is the role of this rosins as an additive in soap? So rosins increases lathering of soap. So lathering property of soap is enhanced due to these rosins. The second important additive, that is called as builders. So the role of builders is to increase the power of soaps and detergents. For example, borax, sodium silicate, washing soda, sodium phosphate, starch, etc. can be used as builders in soap manufacturing. The another important additive, that is called as antioxidant, and the role of these antioxidants is to prevent the rancidity of the soap. So the examples are sodium thiosulfate, sodium hypophosphate, or ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. In short, it is called as the EDTA. So these antioxidants can be added to prevent the rancidity of soap. Another additive is called as fillers. So fillers are used to increase the weight of the soap. Just to increase the weight of soap, fillers are added. For example, chalk, clay, magnesium carbonate, etc. are used as fillers. The another component, that is additive added during soap making, is colors. So these are the synthetic chemicals used to give desired color to the soaps. Usually the human tendency is to choose colored soaps or detergents instead of white. Therefore, these colors are used in making soaps as well as in detergents. So the another additive is called as perfumes. So these are added in sufficient amount to give a typical pleasant smell or fragrance to the soaps which attracts the customers. For example, sandalwood oil, khus oil, oil of lavender, rose oil, etc. can be added in soap making as perfumes. The another additive is called as fixatives. These are the chemicals added to the soap to retain perfumes for longer time. We know that the perfumes should remain till the end of the soap. Therefore, to fix that perfume, fixatives are added, and the fixatives like benzoin, gum, tolu balsam can be used in soap making. The last additive, that is optical brighteners. Basically, these are the fluorescent compounds which absorb ultraviolet radiations from sunlight and emit visible radiations. This gives an effect of increased whiteness. For example, phenylbenzothiazole or benzocamerin, etc., can be used as optical brighteners in soap making. So these are the additives, different additives that are added during soap making. So the raw materials that are required for soap making are of four types. First one is fat, oil or fatty acid. Second one is alkaline material. Third one is common salt, that is sodium chloride, and fourth one is the additives. So on this raw materials, the question may be, descriptive question may be asked, what are soaps, and give an account of raw materials that are used in soap making. So you have to give the details. So all this part is the descriptive part, you have to learn it. There is no alternative for to remember this point. So if you have any questions or doubts, you can ask me. Thank you very much.